weekend, so that suggests you're unchanged, all that sort of stuff.
Very, very good reporting.
So what about Carl Lang on then?
Yeah, no, he's out there.
But he didn't stay always out there?
No, he wasn't out there all the time, but no, he's okay. At this stage, we will be the 22 that we will announce tonight, I think, which was the 22 that you've seen out there.
What's he got that sort of came off there for a bit? Was it like a knee or something?
Yeah, he got a whack on the knee last week's game.
Okay.
But that wouldn't be unusual on, what are we, 6 days away from last week's game, that there's a bruise or two still out there.
Was there any temptation to change anything this weekend?
No, not really, other than some really honest form in the sample, but the restriction was obviously they played Saturday, we played Thursday, and that doesn't, as I said, it's not the end of the world one way or the other, whether you do or you don't bring someone in, but I think, to be honest, a pretty strong, tough game of football last week where we lost in the last minute of the game against a high-quality opponent. The boys did a pretty good job, albeit we're unhappy that we lost.
Who was it in the sample that you were looking at?
Our emergencies will be Palmer, Tompus and Monfries.
How far off is Gus?
It was emergency, so he's pretty close. So, but again, he's, Gus, obviously we understand he's had 12 months out. He's also had a significant injury-interrupted pre-season. He's playing now. I think he's now actually back in some shape and form that suggests he's nearly ready to play.
Game tomorrow night, expecting another tough...
Yeah, every week. That's the unfortunate part, or the fortunate part about AFL now is that it's such a close competition, and we know how strong and imposing club this team that we come up against tomorrow night has been for a long period of time, and last week's game that they played was a good reminder to everyone.
Can you get to the point where you now know what to expect from your group, rather than the past 2 years where the wave just went in every direction?
Yeah, you've got to be careful because you never know when it's going to be wrong, but I think yes is the short answer. I think we've been really, really honest and really consistent right through the 9 games that we've played. And, albeit it's a bit hard, Rooch, to be fair, because as you look at the ladder, we're 8th, we're right in the middle, but we've played the top and we've played some of the sides clearly that are down a bit low. And we've played, I think Freo's probably the side that we've played that's in amongst it. So it's just I think we're about to come into that patch that's going to put some separation in teams, and hopefully that's us going forward, not going back.
More importantly than that, regardless of who you're playing, when you're playing, where you're playing, do you have that confidence now that you know what this group is about, what they're going to deliver and how consistently they'll deliver it? Yeah, no, there's a style that we're playing that's pretty consistent, I think, regardless of who we play. And, sometimes we've been able to, as you know, get a good gap on opposition, and other times we've been really close to the end. So I think we've been pretty consistent.
Was Robbie Gray need more protection from the umpires? Last week he was seriously mauled and hardly didn't go his way. What do you think as coach of the way he's been manhandled most weeks?
I appreciate your support, Andrew, but I'll say nothing. I do appreciate. Look, he's a dynamic player, but there's plenty of players like that in the competition. There's always, can always look like it's not quite right, but I think normally the umpire works out pretty reasonable by the end of the night. But I'm sure Robbie would like another 1 or 2 free kicks if I answer it like that.
Well, is he getting frustrated with the attention that he's getting?
No, I think he expects it. I think that's what the good players do. They expect the attention to be pretty close and strong. And I think the key thing for Robbie is he's playing on, seems to be playing on bigger opponents more often than not. And I think that's probably one of the challenges for him, is that, he's just in a contest with bigger body players, and they can restrict him a bit more than they perhaps should legally.
How's Charlie been this week? He's copped it since last week, and how's he going around the pub?
Fantastic. He's fine. No, he's okay. He hasn't copped it. There's been a bit made out of obviously the shot at goal, and rightly so. There should be a bit made of, because it's the first time we've seen it. It's not like we've seen it before, and he was half a second late starting something. So, as I said after the game, it was an accurate call. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a surprise.
Can you set career best numbers for 4 major categories this year? Does that suggest that he's in his best form ever, and that some of the criticism of him? Yeah,
I'm seeing Charlie Dixon play the best football I've seen him play. And I've seen him play obviously three years at the Gold Coast, and I've seen him play a year and a half here at Port Adelaide. He's playing the best football I've seen him play. He's fit, he's consistent, he's maturing, he's just playing his role in the team, and he's getting the reward for that, and the team are getting the reward.
So what did you think of Cara Wilson's crack in the other night?
What do I think of it? I think I said it was a little unfair. A little unfair.
You're measuring him more on than just goals?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's his it's not just kicking goals. The team kicks the score, and if Charlie's part of that, but he's a score assist player. He plays a significant role all over the ground for us. And like Paddy, like Tom Jonas, they all get involved with our goal scoring because they all play a part.
Can Justin Westhoff look goal shy last week? He's not kicking like he once did, and we sort of tried a Joe Danaher sort of kick around the corner at one point. Where's he at with that? Has he lost confidence in his goal kicking? Or? No,
I don't think so. I don't think Hoff ever loses confidence, to be fair, because he never says nothing. You wouldn't know if he was or he wasn't confident, but he knows what his expectations are, and he's to go back and score when those opportunity presents. But every player can miss a goal or two, and they can have a run where they can miss a goal. But I got great confidence that Hoff normally would go back and execute the kick that he needs to kick. Now, whether that's the snap around the corner or the drop punt or whatever it is, I back him in to make that choice.
So with that, like, I think there was one last week where he was about 25-30 out and sliding, or gave it back to Jared Pollock instead. Is that something the coach will speak to him during the week, during the game review, and say, well, maybe you should just have confidence?
Yeah, no, I think if you look at the numbers, it'll say that Jared, with his kicking ability and where he was positioned on the ground compared to where Hoff was, it's a 1 in 3, probably less than that 1 in 3 from where he was actually kicking from. So we often talk about putting the ball in a better position to allow us to take the shot from. I don't think there was too much wrong with that decision.
What do you think about Hawthorn? Ken, obviously last week it's sitting there, superb little run off half back with Hodge and Burgoyne. Do you sort of put someone in the defensive forward role to monitor those two guys?
Oh no, they've been they're certainly very good players for them, and we need to be aware of them as we have been every time we've played them. We look forward to the challenge of taking them on and playing tough football against them, and hopefully coming away with a win.
So you've beaten teams below and you've taken on a couple of teams above. Is the next sort of month going to give you a more accurate read, or just follow up with groups? Do you feel like you've already got it?
The comp's so close, just the way the ladder looks right now, it looks like that's what we've probably played. But I don't think any side, we played Freo, they win 6 out of 7. You play other sides and they've been pretty strong and honest after. It's just sometimes what the other games are doing are a bit remarkable too. It's just how close the competition is. I think we sit 8th, but we're one game from maybe 13th or 4th. You would never have seen that, I don't think, before in the AFL, and that's why it's going to make it a pretty exciting year.
Is it true they're stopping Hawthorn, stopping their own contested marks? Because when they have a lot of those, they're generally a lot harder to beat. Yeah, there's no doubt that Hawthorn are a possession-style football team, and that's the way they've played over a period of time. And for us, we've got to be mindful of that. But you also can't you can't lose your shape. You can't lose your back defensive shape. Otherwise, you'll pay a price, because it'll be Roughhead, or it'll be Pilopolo, it'll be Bruce, Gunston out the back. So you've just got to be a bit careful of how aggressive you are in that. It's more about the position on the ground, I think. But yeah, definitely you don't want to let them have uncontested possession if you can avoid it. And with Gray, with Wingard being out still, would he still play more forward than middle? Yeah,
even when Wingard's in, he's played more forward. Yeah. And whether he's out, leaving last week, we predominantly played him as a forward. We think that's where we're getting the best results so far for us. Doesn't mean we won't change in-game, because if it's not quite working, we wouldn't be frightened to put Robbie Gray back on the ball. He gets moments on the ball, but more of the bigger parts of the game he's playing in the forward line.
Where does he want to play?
Robbie, in a winning team. That's a good answer, isn't it?
Did you soften the centre circle today?
No, it's soft enough. There was a bit of a downpour here last week, apparently.
Have you been hoping they'd throw it?
I've got no idea what they'll do.
Does that matter?
No. Paddy's in pretty good form.
Ken, have you had the chat to Sam Gray? There's also been a bit made. I think it was Gary Lyon on Monday night mentioned that he probably should have been closer to Paddy Dangerfield at the end of that stoppage there.
If we look at that as a collective, there was things that we done wrong. Let's not isolate Sam Gray, because Sam Gray was a half-forward flanker in the 10 metres from the opposition goal. Pretty courageous to be in that position. Yes, if you ask, he would have loved to have stayed with Paddy a little bit closer, but Ollie would have loved to have been on Paddy at the same point, and we would have done other things slightly differently. But it's a game of millimetres in that place, and the ball went through under a gap like that, and you go, well, it's a game of footy sometimes. Bit of bad luck.
Should Chad be back the next week?
Yeah, he should be. In fact, I got a text this morning saying I'm ready to go.
Of those awareness things that you brought up Thursday night, Ken, which ones have you focused on most this week?
We've been pretty consistent on the way we've defended the ball. And I think that's where we've spent most of our time. And that obviously comes out in a stoppage situation where it comes out with the way the ball moves through the middle of the ground for the opposition, the way they've been able to hit up on us a little bit. And we've seen Geelong were able to take some uncontested marks, and we just talked about if we allow Hawthorn to do that, that will be pretty dangerous for us.
So why have you become better at defending on turnover?
Why have we become better? I think we play in a really strong team defence, and we're able to maintain our shape pretty well when we're using the ball.